Hello, and hello to all of my Scorpios. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Scorpios, let's go. Let's see what your cards have to say. This reading is for the 14th of June through the 14th of July. Let's see what your cards have to say, Scorpios. All right, the Fool card came out, the Moon card, the Queen of Wands. We have the Four of Swords, we have the Seven of Cups, and also the King of Cups. So, I'm talking to you if you have Scorpio anywhere in your chart. This reading is for, like I said before, the 14th of June through the 14th of July. We're coming in for the home stretch. We're about to close out this cycle. This cycle ends on the 17th of the month. So come on, Scorpios, finish strong. Finish strong. You all can do it. Get those emotions together. Right? So here we have the Fool card, folding upright. You can see we also have the Moon card. Two energies from your past could have overwhelmed you. Their energy could have overwhelmed you. However, when you weigh the pros and cons, it was just overwhelming. You may have felt foolish, but not anymore. You feel like a changed person. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Get in the spirit. It's like, you know what? I'm leaving my past behind. I'm moving forward to bigger and better things. Here we have the Queen of Wands. We also have the Four of Swords. Source needs you to get your rest. We're in the last quarter moon phase, so that is get your rest, self-care, focus on self, okay? Let me just focus all 100% on self. What lessons did I learn in this cycle right here? And the lesson that somebody should have learned was to learn how to adapt to moving on from anything that weighed you down emotionally from your past, right? Doesn't matter who or what it is. But here we have the Seven of Cups and also the King of Cups. See the Seven of Cups right here? See this snake right here? So somebody could have had a kundalini experience, meaning you've been bitten by snakes, two snakes in your past. And again, we're not calling a person a snake. We're saying the energy, you've outgrown some energies. So what happens when a snake outgrows the energy? It sheds the skin, even off the eyes, and it moves on, right? So you've been bitten. You've had some situations, some kundalini experiences. You've awakened from some experiences from your past. Now it's on to bigger and better things. So keep your vibrations very high. This is not where the enemy will try to tempt you to vibrate low, to go look at social media pages, to respond to text messages, to even respond to somebody trying to pull you down to a lower frequency. Even in a dream, trying to come back up, having you sitting at the edge of your bed wondering, why am I thinking about this? What is going on? Sources like, get out of that energy field. Get out of that low vibration energy field. You too wise for that. Get near a body of water. You are a water sign. That's how you recharge and reset, by your element. If you were a fire sign, you'd be up under that sunlight, right? And you'd be tossing stuff into a burning bowl, right? Water signs, be in a bathtub, shower, do a spiritual bath or spiritual shower, washing all of that toxicity out of your spirit. You be drinking more water, going to the gym, sweating it out. You're getting all those toxins out of your spirit. You're a water sign. That's how you recharge. By the way, I'm talking to you if you have Scorpio anywhere in your birth chart, right? So pull your birth chart, see how much water, see how much fire, see how much, learn how to recharge when your water gets low, when your emotions get low, when you feel like something is cutting into your happiness or your joy, or you starting to feel codependent, or that somebody else is codependent. All of that's out of alignment. That's out of alignment. Get that sacral chakra together. Get those emotions together. You have a whole lot to be happy for. You all are an emotional sign. All water signs are, and highly creative, right? So that's what Source is saying. Get your rest. Something from your past could have, two situations in particular from your past. You may have felt like at one point, I feel foolish. Like, what is wrong with me? What was I thinking? Remember, whatever frequency you were on. That's why I always talk about extending yourselves grace, because who knows what was going on in your past? Only you. Somebody could have died and you could have been depressed. That would put you at an instant low frequency, right? It wasn't like they died just to make you sad, or you could have lost a job, The company could have gone, bankrupt or whatever. Again, sometimes things are completely out of your control. And so Source is saying to you, now it's time to cut the ties with the past. Just cut the ties with the past. Sever ties with it. You're getting clear messages that's coming through to sever ties with the past. You're going through a rebirth of abundance and prosperity. Cut ties with any past energies. You got proposals coming your way, whether they're marriage proposals in business or marriage proposals in love. You got proposals coming your way. So get ready for that. Make room for that. All that other stuff, leave it behind. You're too wise for this. King of Cups came out twice. Again, when it comes to thinking about one or the other energy from your past, get near a body of water. I can't even say that enough, for real. So here we have the Ace of Cups. Source is re-emphasizing. Protect your water, protect your creativity, protect your sexuality, protect, I'm talking about sacral chakra. Hopefully somebody's writing this down. Protect your water. Underwater, you want to protect your creativity, your joy, your healthy range of emotions, your fertility, your sexuality. You want to protect all of that, right? That's what Source is trying to tell you, is that you still got emotions about an ex or something, for ex love interest from the past or ex working relationships from the past. Protect it. Leave it in the past. Turn off the water faucet. It's outside of your universe. So that's like you running a hose from your yard and you trying to water all the other neighbors' yard, running up your water bill. Y'all got this under control, Scorpios. You're not watering everybody else's yard. They got their own water hose. They got their own, water bill they're paying for, right? You focus on your universe, right? So anyway, here we have the fourth source. Source is emphasizing again, your past is in the past. Get your rest. Leave it in the past. Whoever it is, cut the umbilical cord. Even if they're no longer alive, it is still to some degree. Because remember, I'm talking about two energies from your past, but it could be 20 people with that same spirit that causes you to feel like you were manipulated, lied to, emotionally drained, confused, your toxic energy where you're talking about it, you can't stop thinking about it, you just like, what in the world? All of that. Sources like, get rid of all of it. Here we have the Dame of Pentacles, and this is how I see somebody dancing with their wealth. That's right. Make room for your wealth. All of this creativity in here, make room for your wealth, Scorpio. Stop playing yourselves. Stop playing yourselves. Please stop playing yourselves. Who has that kind of time? We're about to close out this cycle. Finish strong. Finish strong, finish strong, finish strong. Like I said, leave the past in the past. You may have felt foolish. You may have even right now be thinking, okay, why am I thinking about it? Am I going to run into somebody from my past? Sources, don't even feed that. Don't even water those seeds. Start thinking Source in advance. I will not have any issues with anybody from my past. Thank you, God. Thank you that I won't have issues with anybody from my past. But what happens, somebody will sit in that, fixated on it. Remember, you're a fixed sign. Watering those seeds. Now they growing. Next thing you know, you bump into your ex in a grocery store. You get a text message or an email or whatever because you kept watering that. Sources like, come out of those emotions. Get near water. Start speaking gratitude. Here we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords. We also have the Nine of Wands. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and also the Five of Cups. Alrighty. So, Five of Cups and also the Queen of Cups. So you got the King and Queen of Cups here. So sources like, not only are you wise about these two situations, have compassion, but every time you look back, even if you say, I feel sorry for one and the other one, is just a very dark energy, sources like, put a manhole cover over both of it. Just move on. Move on from something. Move on. Right? Here we have the Queen of Pentacles. Right? The Queen of Pentacles. Sources like, your reputation is still intact. Your credibility is still intact. You work very hard. Your security is still intact. Like, everything is still intact. You are still an asset to people's lives and not a liability to people's lives. And so, but every time you think about, it's always that one thing that tries to pull somebody back. There's a temptation that will try to pull you back to the past, right? Like, for instance, it could be somebody saying, you know what, I want nothing to do with my ex, but I did build a bond with their kids, and I can't just cut the kids off. But Source is saying to you, think about your own inner child first. Think about, are you putting your own inner child in jeopardy and leaving your own inner child vulnerable because you feel like, okay, I don't want to abandon somebody else's kids that's using their own child as a pawn, right? Or let's say you worked in a place and the culture of the organization was just that toxic, but you built some solid friendships, right? Work friendships, right? You should only be able to tell the people one time that you are not talking about work in any capacity whatsoever, because the moment you leave, they should be demoted. They shouldn't have full level of access to what's going on in your life, because it'd be impossible to ask them not to talk about it at work. Somebody may ask them, so how is Scorpio doing? It's like, oh my God, Scorpio just landed $1 billion deal and they doing great, and so on and so forth. Now the place that you used to work for, they got information about you, right? So Somebody's going to have to learn how to move on from some situations like Puffy song say gotta move on. That somebody's gonna have to move on. Somebody's gonna have to really, really move on from some things, right? Especially when things were exposed to you. You know, something could have been exposed to you that you may not have known or been aware of before, but now you do know. Whether you need to talk to somebody to find out whether it's true or not, source says just move on. Just move on. So I do see somebody at the end of a long and arduous journey, and I see somebody is enlightened now, and so you're not going back. You're not going back. You're not going back. Anyway, here we have the Ace of Pentacles here. And so this is where somebody's just been working hard, you know, on themselves, like working hard on your emotions, you know, trying to contain that water, learning how to control your own water, control your own emotions when it comes to things, because water takes the shape of whatever you put it in. And so if you take it back to a lower frequency, you know, you take that thing back to a lower frequency where people were talking about you behind your back and trying to set you up and, you know, all of that, then water's reflective. And so you're going to mirror the same energy that they're on. So who's doing that? At a certain stage in your life with the wisdom, like when we talk about the King of, we have the King of Cups twice. This is the person who is very wise. The Queen of Cups is a person who is very compassionate. With the wisdom that you've acquired, the wisdom that you feel like, you know, you've gained some wisdom from all of this, and you say, you know what, I'm wise enough to know that if I go back, that's real tricky, because all I need is a drop of, I got all this clear water now, right? I've flushed all of the toxins out. I no longer keep in contact with certain people. I am done. Every now and then I'm looking back, I'm working on putting a manhole cover over the past and just leaving the past in the past. Every time I'm called back to it, whether it was a text message, phone number, somebody crying out from the pits of their own darkness within, then I'm tempted to kind of sort of check and see, well, what is that? Why am I thinking about, I feel so sorry for so on and so forth. I feel sorry for, you know, these people, they got to stay in this company. I feel sorry for sources. Like, listen, just like you called out to source, found a light within yourself, they too have the ability to cry out to source. You all have seen those scary movies where they be using, what's the name of the movie, Pet Cemetery, or like some of the movies where they've used people who seem like a, you know, like a person who is helpless. But the spirit is the same as the spirit that seems like Freddy Krueger or like Michael Myers. It's the same spirit, but the body that it's in can seem like it's helpless, like it's just like, oh boy. And as soon as you get close enough to it, it snatches you down into that dark hole. Now you find yourself on the phone talking to people about something. Well, you know what's going on, and all of this other stuff, distracting you from what Source has for you, right? This great future of abundance and prosperity. Here we have the 3 of Clubs, the 4 of Clubs, the 5 of Clubs. We have the 6 of Clubs, and also the 7 of Clubs. All of this is fire energy. So Source is saying, now that you out of this, and you are victorious on the other side of something, Source is like, all you should see is expansion, 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 expansion. You're dealing with people who, like I said before, you're dealing with energies who are battling their demons, and they're battling their demons big time. And those two energies that you're kind of sort of struggling to walk away from, to move on from, Source is saying to you to move on. Bottom line, just move on. You got expansion on the horizon here. You have victory. So I do see somebody victoriously moving on. But again, if it's one out of the two energies that's like, you know, keep calling you from something, remember those scenes in those scary movies. There's always something that lures you back. That's the enemy. What's the seven of Cups? Something always lures you back. And so that number 7 represents God saying, let me make it make sense for you. So all you have to do, Scorpio, in your private time is ask God why. Why can I not just put a manhole cover over this? What is pulling me back? Why does it keep popping up in my mind? Let God show you. Let God show you. Let God expose it. See, sometimes things are wearing masks, right? And I'm talking about, you know, like those masks, they look like they're real until you get that close to it and you see that peeling off on the side of that mask. You're like, oh my God, that's not who I thought it was under there. It's not. That was the enemy trying to lure you back into something. So you all got it under control. You all got it under control. So Source does not want you to operate in your flesh, wants you to operate from a higher frequency and trust. That's right. Here's your first card. Trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Trust is the first one. You are good enough. Yep, you are good enough. See, that's what somebody was wondering. Somebody was trying to analyze, like over-analyzing something, like, trying to dissect something to just like they couldn't dissect it anymore. I wonder why this. I wonder what Source is like. That wondering why is getting into that water stream of yours. Our bodies are made up of almost 70% water, like this earth, right? Everything out there is the same thing as within, right? So you don't need to go out into the world when you got everything within. You can say the Source within you. Why is this thing trying to enter my water source again? Trying to enter my emotions, trying to disrupt my joy, trying to disrupt X, Y, and Z. And let God show you. Let God show you why. All you have to do is say, God, explain it to me, and in the way that I would understand. Like in a unique way that I would understand. And let God, and if you have a dream about something, don't forget to journal it. Even if it doesn't make sense, God will make it make sense to you. Faye, number 9. Number 9, death, rebirth. Something needs to end. Not everything is as it may seem. Be cautious, dear one, for there is a story beneath the tale. Didn't I tell you? I'm trying to help somebody for real. Something could be wearing a mask. You could assume, oh, somebody is helpless and they this and that, and I got to go back and check on such and such. It may not be what you think, and you don't want to find out the hard way just because emotionally you all are the smartest sign in the Zodiac, and you can handle a lot of things emotionally. That thing that's crying out to you, that spirit that's crying out to you, you can throw yourself into many karmic cycles for nothing, and then be sitting back going, oh my God, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I pay attention? Move on. 26, I am tactful. You have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs. That's right. We're talking about now and in your future, not in your past. Leave the past behind. 26, 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 is a money exchange number, and it's not just about paper and coins money. It's also about your relationships with, like, healthy relationships with human beings. Not all of that low vibrational stuff that's in the past. That is what I have for you, Scorpios. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all on Freedom Friday. Bye.